Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. Welcome back to Mastodon Comics and Music. Today I have another um, installment of the Marvel graphic novel reviews. This episode is the last numbered issue of the Marvel graphic novel line. This is issue 20, Greenberg the Vampire, written by J.M. DeMatteis and art by Mark Badger. Um, the story entails Oscar Greenberg, who is a writer. As a child, he is visited by Lilith of the Dark. And Lilith is, you guessed it, that Lilith. But his mother chants the three words of the angel, three names of the angels, causing Lilith to flee. She later visits him again at his bar mitzvah as a teen, and again is unsuccessful. As an adult writer, Oscar meets Diane Keaton while doing research on a satanic cult. The two instantly feel a connection, and one night Denise is compelled to bite Oscar. 3 days later, he arises as a vampire. So this becomes his muse for his writing. He is a horror writer, and he speaks from experience, and he uses his experience as a vampire to delve further into the occult nightlife, the vampire nightlife. After his rebirth as a vampire, he and this Denise Keaton continue their love affair. And he it takes him in directions that he not thought possible. It also centers around family. It's very down to earth. It's the kind of story that one may or may not expect from J.M. DeMatteis. When he's confronted with writer's block while trying to write his latest novel, he decides to try work in cinema, where he meets this young girl by the name of Evie. She's very mysterious, and he doesn't understand why. This was a really fun read. The art was really, much like the cover. The art was pretty much the same, what you would expect. I'd never heard of Mark Badger before. He has kind of maybe a Bill Sienkiewicz quality to his art. It's kind of a watercolor style art, and I think it went well with the story. Definitely recommend it. With that, I'm going to pause, and we'll get into the interiors. All right. So, interiors. Obviously edited by Ann Nocenti. So here is the kind of the introduction. New York City. Confessions of a Vampire. Some of Oscar's writing and his dreams. Dealing with his writer's block, and his nephew interrupts him. He's throwing his typewriter across the room. So kind of very, very fun watercolor art. There he is in the being visited by Lilith at his bar mitzvah. And his grandmother, very kind-hearted soul, somewhat completely unaware. But not completely unaware of this evil presence. Let's look into. There he is working on the set. Movie set. And he brings his grandmother to the set. And there is the young Evie that he finds himself involved with. But as you can see, she's very, very much a temptress because, well, Lilith is involved. So this is a very fun read. J.M. DeMatteis is probably one of my favorite comic book writers. So I was happy to read this. Very, very excited to read this one. Very much if you've never read Brooklyn Dream, it's kind of got a similar quality to the writing and how the story dynamic, in my impression anyway. But definitely go out and check this one out. I'll give this a 7.5 to 8, and definitely on the writing, the story, and the art. Again, this was Marvel graphic novel number 20, Greenberg the Vampire by J.M. DeMatteis and Mark Badger. If you see it, grab it and read it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. We'll see you on the next one. In the meantime, keep collecting, keep reading, and keep sharing.